is your yin and flow practice. So find a comfortable seat. You can pause this video whenever you need, just to get yourself set up. If you want to pause in your practice and come back to it, I'll begin by sounding the bowl. So as you find a comfortable seat, close down your eyes with a gentle bow of your head. Just focus on your seat and feel that connection to earth. Feel that connection to breath. And as you breathe in, feel a lengthening of your spine. And as you breathe out, feel a release of the shoulders down, away from the ears. And feel free to wiggle around in any way that you need until you can find a comfortable stillness, just to make this transition from the day so far into practice. Noticing whatever has arrived with you from this day, just drawing your attention to yourself and your space. You might sense the temperature of your space and the light, and allow wherever you're practicing to become a part of your experience here today, both your space and the space that I'm in. There might be an intention that you'd like to set for yourself. I'm just inviting a little bit of gentle rocking side to side while maintaining comfortable length in my spine, shoulders relaxing down. So the idea of intention is a way to draw a map or keep your focus moving in a positive direction. So if there's something that you're seeking, needing, wanting for yourself today in this practice, you can set an intention. So just take a few moments to see what arises as you consider the idea of intention. And then bring your hands together in prayer position, and we'll do our moving mantra meditation. Draw the thumbs to brow center point, I am here, to the center of the chest, all is well. Hands to earth, grounded and balanced. And open to all that arises. Let's continue that mantra a couple more times. I am here, all is well, grounded and balanced, and rising above. And again, I am here, all is well, grounded and balanced, and open to all that arises. Draw your hands together and back to prayer position, just with eyes open, softly gazing over the fingertips. Just notice how those words feel. Do a little body scan here. And then interlace your fingers and draw the palms forward and reach up. Take a little side stretch, bend the elbows, draw the palms upward, and then bend at the elbows. Take a little turn to the right and back through center. Reach up, get long, and release your arms right to the knees. Let's move into a cat-cow. Exhaling on the round. Inhaling to arch. So move with your breath. The breath is guiding the body's motion. So really feel this. Only make your transition as you're ready to take that next breath in or out. So passive stretching here, gentle flow, moving with your breath. As you come back to center, let's take the arms wide, reach the arms upward, and then we'll take a bow over the left knee, hands to earth, take your bow. And then reach the right arm across the body, over the ear, make a cactus arm, and then take another reach over to the left, bowing over that left knee. And again, reach across, make a cactus, gaze to your right, and again across the body, and take your bow. Let's walk our hands over to the right, bow your head, and then sweep the left arm across the body to cactus. I'm still leaning to the right and across again. Lower the hand down, take your bow, and back to your cactus, gazing to the left, and releasing back down. Walk your hands to center. Bow here, perhaps rocking side to side. And then rise up. So we'll swing the legs around and come into a tabletop. Shoulders stack over wrists, comfortable space between the fingers. So just press into the earth. Really feel that action, pressing into all 10 fingers. Take a gaze back to your knees and your feet, tops of the feet meeting the floor. Let's begin to rock our hips side to side. And then curl your toes under, slide your hands forward, press back to an extended child's pose. Let's stay here for a few breaths, just a short hold. Get a nice stretch through the feet. Float the hips forward. Come about halfway to upward facing dog. Feel a gentle stretch in the low back. Keep your toes curled under. We're pausing here for a few breaths. Shorter hold. And then extend the hips back and settle here. Now let's point the toes back and walk our hands over to the left side of the mat. Feel a nice pull in the right hip, all the way up through the right arm. Head just hovering off the mat. Holding here for a shorter hold. And then lift the head and the chest and walk your hands to the right. Feel that pull in the left hip, left side of the body. Bowing head, nice and strong through the arms. shorter hold, and then come back to center, and we'll rise up to the knees and sweep the arms up. Look up, take a little baby back bend here. Exhale, take your bow, child's pose. Let's move with our breath, inhaling to rise, and exhaling to fold. And again, inhale on the rise, and exhale, fold. So we're gonna settle into child's pose and take a pause here. Welcoming in the quiet, attuned to the comfortable stillness that your body creates within the pose of child's, calming the mind, breathing into the back side of the body. And just notice where you naturally relax into the pose. Also, welcome in any areas that resist in any way. We're always balancing this space between effort and ease, holding your child's pose, staying connected to your experience. From your child's pose, lift your head and slide your arms forward, set your gaze forward, let your chest melt a little deeper toward the earth, and then we'll plant the fingers and let the hips come forward into full upward facing dog. So feel the weight of the pelvis, feel a nice back bend here, pushing the floor away, tops of the feet meeting the floor, shoulders stacked over wrists. Lift your hips, curl the toes under, and come up to downward facing dog. Stay in your dog. I'm just gonna take a glance at the camera. So holding in your downward facing dog, and finding that comfortable stillness. If it feels better to step your feet a little wider, you're welcome to. You're welcome to bend the knees a little bit, just finding what feels like a nice hold here. The weight of the head releasing down. Breathing in and out from your downward facing dog. Keeping the feet wide and lowering the knees to the outer edges of the mat. We'll come into frog pose. So point the toes back, walk your hands a little forward and press your hips to your heels. So stay here for a pause. And feel that stretch through the upper back and the arms and the shoulders. Drop the elbows down and bring your shoulders over the elbows. This is frog pose. So tilt the tail upward, let your head relax downward, and we'll stay here for a hold. You're welcome to tuck a pillow underneath your head. You can always stack your fists to support your head. So there's this letting go in the low back, in the low belly, in both the front and the back ribs. Breathing here into your frog pose. Our yin offers us this passive, quiet quality, attuned in a relaxed way. And then from this hold, we'll come back to our tabletop, draw the knees in a little bit closer together. Let's move through cat-cow. So slow down your breath, inhaling to arch. Push the floor away, exhaling to round. And again, inhale to arch, exhale to round. And continue to move with your breath, pushing through the tops of the feet, and then curling the toes under and sliding your hands forward. Let's come back to our downward facing dog. Breathing here, perhaps lifting and lowering the heels if that feels good. We're not forcing them down, just getting a nice rhythm of the heels lifting and lowering. And from this downward facing dog, we'll come into a pigeon pose. So you can come from dog, or you can come from three-legged dog. You choose what leg you want to bring forward. So we're drawing the knee forward. You can start here in pigeon prep, or you're welcome to come right into your variation of pigeon pose. Your back toes point toward the back of the mat. Just stay here on the hands. Invite a little bit of movement in any form. Just noticing what you need here to invite a little bit of space. And then you can go deeper if you choose, coming onto the forearms. Adjust your forward foot and knee and hip. You can tuck in anything to help you feel a little more supported. Staying here in your pigeon pose, close down your eyes. When we drop into our yin energy, time is more important than intensity. So we want to stay here within a comfortable stillness for time, getting into the soft tissue. Relax the weight of your head. Soften your eyes to close. Follow your breath to keep you anchored in the here and now. We'll make a mindful transition. If you're on your forearms, come back to your hands. Feel that length in the spine. Maybe wiggle around a little bit. And then curl the back toes under. You can make whatever transition you choose. We're coming back to downward facing dog. So I'm pushing the floor away, lifting the hips, and stepping my forward foot back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, lift and lower the heels, shake out the head. Any movement that your body needs after that pigeon on that side. This is just a transitional pose here in downward facing dog. Again, you're welcome to come into your pigeon on the other side from downward facing dog or from three-legged dog. So you decide. You can come to here, or you can come right into your expression or variation of pigeon pose. Your back toes point toward the back of the mat. Stay on your hands, invite a little movement to create space. And just to give your body a little bit of time to transition. And then make your way as it feels good for you, perhaps to the forearms. Get a little closer to the ground. Bow your head. And when you feel that the time is right to drop into stillness, allow that to happen so that we can begin stretching, strengthening the connective tissue, the fascia. Close down your eyes. Let your breath become a calming companion for you within the discomfort, within the wandering of the mind. Your breath anchors you in this experience within the physical body, anchors you into this moment in time in your pigeon pose. Smooth, steady breath. Few more breaths here. Slowly make your transition. Come back onto the hands, inviting length in the spine, perhaps a little bit of moving the hips side to side. And then we'll carefully bring that back leg forward and we'll come right into a shoelace pose. So don't worry so much about form. Shoelace is a pose where we stack the knees one on top of the other. And your shape might be slightly different than mine, so don't worry about form so much. We are getting into both the inner and outer thighs. You can, no matter how your legs are, if they're like this, if they're a little bit more stacked or even a little less stacked, you can also stack your knee over your foot and your foot over your knee. So just find the shape that feels good for you. You can tuck your feet in nice and close to the body. You might stay here for a straight back or bring your hands to the earth and take a comfortable bow of the head. We know that this quality of bowing the head and closing down the eyes creates this calming effect. So drop in to your body, to sensation. Feel this dance of holding on and letting go. Notice where you quite naturally relax into the shape. Notice areas of resistance. Few more breaths here. And then lift your head and carefully unravel from your shoelace. Remember what leg you had on top. Just bring your legs forward and shake out the legs. You might rock your feet side to side. Bouncing through the knees. Lift your knees and just take a little bit of a forward fold. Again, bowing the head, calming the mind. Roll yourself up. And then we'll move into shoelace on the other side. So again, remember what leg was on top. The shape will change from side to side. So get as grounded through your seat as you can. find the shape of the legs that feels comfortable for you. You can separate the feet apart or draw the feet in nice and close. Remember that you might be here, stacking your foot over your knee and your knee over your foot. So just finding what feels best for you. You're welcome to stay neutral in the spine. Still take that bow of the head, or you might invite a little forward fold. Closing down the eyes. And staying here for time. Connected to each breath coming in and going out. Connected to sensation throughout the body. Paying attention in a relaxed and attuned way. And slowly unwind from your pose. Really make this mindful transition. We'll come right into a straddle. So it's useful if you tuck a couple of cushions underneath your seat just to lift you up a little bit. Your feet are comfortably wide. There's a softness around the knees, so we don't want to push the knees down, but maybe even have a little bit of space. And then bring your hands to center. There's a gentle flexion of the toes, a gaze down to the floor. So less is more. And if it's useful for you to invite a little bit of passive stretching within this full straddle, that might feel good for your body. So allow for whatever you need. And then when the time is right, drop into stillness, bowing the head, maybe closing down the eyes. And feel the shape, all sensation within the shape. Breath moving into and around sensation. Feel as though your whole body breathes. Relax the space behind your eyes. And if at any point in this holding you feel that you want to go a little deeper, allow that to happen, but staying within the realm of mild to moderate sensation. When you start to feel the muscles hugging the bones, or when you feel that muscular engagement, that's indicating that maybe you're going too deep. Few more breaths here. And then come back to a neutral spine. Slide your legs toward each other. Give them a little shake off. Maybe rocking your feet. And we'll bring our hands behind and our feet to the floor. I'm gonna move to a profile here. So comfortable space, both between the hands behind you as well as your feet. And we'll do a little windshield wiper. So I'm rocking over to my right buttock as my legs fall to the right, and then over to the left buttock as my legs fall to the left. And just move side to side. Keeping your chest open, side to side. One more time in this direction. and back to center. And from here we'll come into cobbler pose. So I'll face you again. The soles of the feet come together, the knees open out to the side. As always, you're choosing your shape. So if you're feeling open in the knees and the hips and the thighs, you can bring your heels close to the midline and even tuck a couple of props or blankets underneath the knees. So this is an option. If this feels like too much, you can slide your feet forward to have less intensity. And then you also have an option to take a forward fold. You can plant your hands to the earth, or you can stay neutral in the spine. Either way, take a gentle bow of the head. Making this smooth transition from flow to stillness. Connecting to breath. Connecting to sensation. Connecting to earth. Mindful as sensation shifts and moves. Just following your own unique experience. Noticing areas of the body that tighten up and areas of the body that let go. And finding that balance between. Stay connected to each breath in, each breath out. Open up your eyes, release the hold on your feet, and help your knees together. Come into a comfortable tucked seated position. You can give your legs a little hug, perhaps bow your head, a little rounding in the spine. Just finding this space of neutrality to reflect on that yin hold. And then we'll unwind from the tuck, swing the legs around. So be sure that you make your transitions slow. And as you come back to tabletop, walk your hands a little forward of the shoulders, push your hips back, bow your head. Exhale here. And then inhale, float forward to upward facing dog. And let's move between these 2 points. Pressing the hips back, bowing the head on exhalation. Momentum forward on inhalation. Keep a soft, steady gaze, slow movement, relaxed breath. Continue forward to back. And then come back to your table. Plug the big toes in to touch and walk your knees toward the outer edges of the mat. We're coming into a wide-kneed child's pose. Drawing your hands toward you and stacked to support your head, or bring in a block or a pillow. You're also welcome to tuck something between the backs of the thighs and calves. Settling into a wide child's pose and pausing here. Feel your way into the pose. close down your eyes. You might feel the quality of comfort and grounding, this sort of drawing yourself within in this cocoon of child's pose, this time for you. Tuning into all sensation on both sides of the body. From your child's pose, lift your head and walk your hands to the right. Take a fold over the right knee. You might extend your left arm a little further past the right and feel this long stretch along the whole left side of the body. If you can relax your head to a pillow or to the earth, you're welcome to, or just hover. We're here for a shorter hold. One more breath here. And then lift your head and walk your hands slowly across to the left side. Maybe your right arm extends beyond your left, bowing over that left knee, either your head hovering or grounded, whatever feels good for you for this short hold. Lift your head, come back to center. We'll move our knees in toward each other and sit back in hero pose. Hopefully I didn't just go out of frame. So again, you can tuck something underneath your seat. Let your hands rest palms down on the tops of the legs, shoulders relaxing. If you want to stack one foot over the other, that might feel good. A gentle bow of the head, closing down the eyes. Bring your hands together in prayer position and reach the arms up, look up. And then bring your left hand just behind you, fingertips down. Reach the right arm up, maybe take a little back bend. And then look forward and reach the arms forward, take a bow. And roll yourself up. Come back to prayer position and reach both arms up, look up. Right hand behind, fingertips down, little baby back bend as you look upward. And then gaze forward and slide the arms forward, take a bow. Let's come back to tabletop and up to downward facing dog. Take your feet wide and settle into a comfortable downward facing dog. You can bend your knees as deeply as you choose. Wiggle around a little bit until you find your way into a comfortable, grounding downward facing dog. Close down your eyes. Feel the crown of the head releasing downward. A shorter hold here. Pushing the floor away. And then begin to alternately bend the knees as you rock your hips side to side. Gentle movement here, shake out your head. And then walk your feet toward each other. lower your knees down. We're gonna come onto our bellies and into Sphinx pose. So we're standing on our forearms, our toes are pointing back. Find a comfortable Sphinx for you. You can experiment with the space between the forearms as well as the distance between the elbows and the rest of the body. So if you want a lesser back bend, you can slide your elbows forward, a deeper back bend, tuck them underneath the shoulders. Every hold can begin with a little bit of movement to invite space. So let that happen in any way that feels good for you. And when the time is right, settle into stillness. Set your gaze down, perhaps close down your eyes. Feeling a sense of stillness. Feel the back bend. This passive quality, lower energy. Tapping into the space of our thinking minds, just to see what's here. If at any point you feel that you need to adjust your position, allow that to happen and then reset back to stillness. Few more breaths here. And then from this Sphinx pose, let's come right into Cobra. So slide your hands on either side of the chest. Your elbows and upper arms tuck into the side body, forehead releases to the floor. So just settle in here. And I'm starting to push down and forward through the hands so that I can lift up to a cobra. So if you just want to lift a little bit, lift a little bit. If you want to go a little deeper, we're also pressing into the tops of the feet. When your elbows splay out, draw them back in, lower the forehead down, take a rest, lift both of your feet over the knees, do a little ankle rotation, a little windshield wiper legs. Keep your arms active here, shoulders drawing onto the back, and then lower the toes down with your toes curled under this time. And we'll lift up to Cobra, and then continue the lift through the hips, coming back to extended child's pose. Bow your head. Inhale, come forward to upward facing dog. And this time, let's rise up to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, lower the knees, point the toes back, hips to heels, take a bow. Inhale, forward, upward facing dog. And child's pose. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, back. And come back to your table. We're going to come into a table twist. So you might choose to have a folded blanket or a pillow to support your head. You can start on whatever side you choose. We're taking one arm up and out to the side, and then threading underneath the opposite arm. This palm is turned up, releasing your head down to the mat, a pillow or a blanket,
Your hips are staying lifted. There's comfortable space between the knees. So when you settle here, you can do any number of things with this hand. You can draw it forward. You can keep it as it is. You can release it onto the low back. So find what is comfortable for you. Settle in to this twist. Close down your eyes. A shorter hold here. Feel your way into breathing. Unwind, so we're lifting the head and sliding that arm back. Let's walk both hands forward, push both hips back to come back to symmetry. And then slide your hands towards you, roll up and on to your knees. Take a big breath in, reach up, look up, and a big breath out to take your bow. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling on the rise. Exhaling to fold. And once more. And we'll come right into our table twist on the other side. So opposite arm reaches out to the side and up. Begin to thread the arm underneath the opposite arm. Lower your head. Make any adjustments to your position to this hand. Allow any props to fully support you within the shape, and then drop into stillness. Close down your eyes. Feel the support of the earth. Sense your whole body in awareness. And connected to breath. Lift your head and slowly unwind. We'll come back to that extended child's pose. Push your hips back, bow your head. And rise up to your knees, reach up and look up, breathing in. Exhale to fold. And 2 more times, rising up, breathing in. And exhale and fold. And once more, rising up. Sit back on your heels. And coming back into hero pose. Let your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers rest. Comfortable lengthened spine. Breathe here. Just pausing in your practice once again to experience all that arises. This ever-changing experience of presence, of breath, of sensation, thoughts and feelings. Each time we change the shape of the body, we are shifting energy and moving things around. So sometimes we can feel emotional or sad or joyful on our mats. From this space of hero pose, we'll come back to a comfortable seated position with a little bit of movement. So begin to rock side to side and let yourself feel as
fluid, as flowing as possible. And then move into a rotation. You're welcome to have your eyes opened or closed, just methodical rotations in one direction. Natural breath pattern, and then change the direction. Neutral spine. And then as you come back to center, draw your hands together in prayer position. Open your eyes. And let's inhale, separate the hands. And exhale, draw the hands together. Move with your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And take your elbows out to the side. Take a little twist to the right. And a twist to the left. And back to center, reach up. Thumbs to brow, center point. I am here. Center of the chest, all is well. Reaching to earth, grounded and balanced. And open to all that arises. I am here. All is well. Grounded and balanced. And open to all that arises. And from here, let's do a little Qigong ending. So stack your right hand over top of the left, and we'll inhale the left arm all the way up, and then take the center line down the center of the body. On the exhalation, turn your palm up. On the right, breathing in, and down that center line, breathing out. So this is helping to balance our energy, whether we have too much energy or not enough. We're just continuing this repetitive pattern. You can do this for as long as you choose. I'm not going to do it for too long. It's best to do it for at least 2 minutes. I'll do it one more time on the left. And then let's take both arms out to the side. Reach up, look up. When we look upward, we are lifting our spirits. So you might feel a sense of that. You might choose to wiggle your fingers. And then cross the hands at the chest. Take a bow. Just pausing here. And taking this time to acknowledge this practice. Let your hands return to prayer position. You're welcome to continue this practice through Shavasana, lying on your back. I'll stay seated and continue to sound the bowl. So bring yourself into the position or the posture of Shavasana, supported with any props, a pillow underneath your head. You might cover yourself, be warm, and follow the sound of the bowl. And feel the sense of your closed eyes. Drawing your attention into the body. Let your body take up space. Resting, letting go. to a feeling space. Nowhere to be but here. Just for now. This precious time to return to yourself.